Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Geek Addicts, the pop culture podcast where we once again punch through our limits despite some arbitrary threat that comes out of nowhere. I am Bill, and this is Matt. Matt, I already am fucking shit up. Matt, how you doing?
I'm all right. How are you?
I don't know why you're maxed out. That just came out of nowhere.
Hey,
Yeah.
sometimes that kind of stuff just happens. Oh man, so it's been a couple weeks since we recorded last.
It
I feel like we've
has,
both been
because
rather busy throughout.
well, I took a mini vacation to upstate New York. That was
That's so
planned,
weird
but
too. I could have sworn when we talked about it before you said Vermont, so I was really confused when you were posting pictures about it on the Discord.
yeah, I thought it was Vermont, and then for some reason, like I actually saw where it was. I was like, oh, it's New York.
Fair enough.
Same general
All right,
area
so I
though.
wasn't crazy. Okay, I was like, how the
Yeah,
fuck do you get Vermont and New York mixed up?
yeah, they're all Appalachian mountains, so the
Fair
usual.
enough. Fair
Excuse me.
enough.
Yeah,
So, how have you been, Bill? What have you been up to?
uh, working. Other than the vacation, mostly working.
Yeah,
Um,
I feel that.
been tired. Like it's been so hard to be motivated lately. It's already November. Like, what the
Yeah.
hell?
Yeah, and it's like, oh god, yeah, I've been so busy the past few weeks because we've just been trying to fucking get our shit together and figure out Frankie's birthday and Halloween and all this other shit, dude. Fucking
How was
Cindy's concert is in a few weeks, and
how was the weather for you?
um, it's not terrible. I mean, obviously, once the sun goes down, it gets cold, but when the sun's out, and as long as it's not absurdly windy, it's fine.
It was super windy last night. Like during Halloween, I was like, "Damn, those kids are not having a fun time."
We were getting a lot of wind when we were in Plymouth because so for Halloween, I got out of work a little bit early and we went to my in-laws' house because they live in Plymouth. And then, like downtown Plymouth does like, the big, all the kids walk down the storefronts and the, store owners and such will hand out candy and all that. So it was just like a fun little, like, it was like kind of like an outdoor convention almost, but children. Um,
It's like
but
back when the Kingston Mall used to do like trick or treating
Yeah,
in
yeah,
in
exactly.
stores.
Yeah. I remember that. I did that a couple times.
Now there's not enough
Um,
stores to do it.
Yeah, right. The ones that are there aren't like nearly as enthused about it as they should be.
It's not like back in the day where it was fun. Now it's just like you got like Newbury Comics and that's about it. And they don't like
Yeah.
children there very much. So.
But no, we did that. That was cool. We ended up bumping into my cousin. She actually ended up spending the night with her kids. Um, so we did that for like an hour and a half or so, and then we hung out back at the in-laws' place for a bit. And then once the sun went down, Xander got dropped off to go do Halloween at his friend's neighborhood. And
Nice.
we were like, we wanted to go back out with Frankie, but like, well, first of all, Plymouth was windy as fuck, obviously because the water's right there. We didn't want to do it there, and plus it just kind of seemed lame. Like there wasn't really a lot. Like once the big event kind of dispersed, I think everyone went to like actual neighborhoods, and like the area around there just kind of was bleak. So we were like,
Yeah.
all right, we'll try to find like another place. And since we didn't have Xander, we wanted to try and find like somewhere where there was stuff going on, but it was quieter. Um, so funny enough, we ended up going to my old childhood neighborhood.
That's fun.
Um, and it was so weird. Like, well, first of all, it hasn't changed since the 90s. It's exactly the fucking same as when I lived there. It is bizarre. Um, and like some of the neighbors were still there, the old neighbors. Well, it's just funny. One of them actually babysat my mom and me, and she was still there.
Wow.
Um, but yeah, it was bizarre. And like I had this thought as we were walking through, seeing all like it wasn't like a lot of kids, but there were kids going around. There were little groups, but for the most part, it was quiet. Um, and I kept having this thought, like some of these parents could easily be like the kids that were too young for me to like play with in the neighborhood. When I was a kid,
Yeah.
it was such a weird thought because like when we moved out of there when I was 14, I think, or I was like on the cusp of 14 at the earliest. And like, these kids were like 7 or 8 at the time. So like it's entirely possible that some of these moms and dads that were walking around with their kids were some of those kids. And like, that was just such a weird thought. And as I'm walking through the neighborhood, I'm like, oh yeah, these people over here did this. And the guy who lived over here was in a coma for 6 months because he was being an idiot, hanging off the back of his friend's car. And this person over here did like it's weird how it all flooded back, you know. It was actually really cool though, because it was such a quiet neighborhood. Like there were kids, but it was quiet neighborhood. Almost every fucking house gave full bars.
That's new. That was like a rarity back when we were kids.
Yeah, and the ones that didn't would be like grab like a double handful, like just grab a bunch. We have a shit ton. Like it was pretty crazy, but we ended up doing like a full loop around there, and Frankie loved it. It was actually really funny too because the last house we went to, I forget the name. It was one of those like spooky clowns, like one of those famous ones. I remember what the name of it. It wasn't Pennywise, but it was a different one. It's like the Terrifier or something. Is that a thing?
I don't know.
I don't know. Well, it was a spooky clown. And he answered the door and he didn't say a word the whole time. And Frankie was not phased at all. She just did not care. She's like, trick or treat. She's just fucking all the way in the candy, just pulling, fucking just did not care at all. She's just like, all right, cool.
Yeah. God, Halloween is such a weird holiday for me because I stopped doing it like way earlier than most people did. Like I think I quit Halloween in 7th grade. Because it stopped being fun. Like that was the main, like when I realized like the last year I did it was the Halloween of 6th grade. And it was like it was kind of a chore the whole time. I was like, why am I bothering? Like I don't need the candy disappears after like a week anyways. Like
wonder where that went.
It's called my parents took it and gave it away at work.
Now I am that parent.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. I get it because kids don't eat that much candy. But at the same time, it really killed any enthusiasm to do Halloween.
I mean, that's fair, but I feel like, and this is probably where it lost you, Bill, because I don't see you doing this, but a lot of kids continued doing the Halloween thing, like, once they hit the teenage years, but they weren't necessarily triggered. Like if they came up to a house that like, the bowl was just out, nobody was handing anything out, you'd run up and grab a bunch of candy, but mostly you were just fucking off and just being a menace.
You see, my friends were lame as fuck. Like they still trick-or-treated like the legit trick-or-treated until they were like almost seniors in high school. And I'm just like, okay,
really?
Guys, it's getting a little creepy now. No, my friends were lame as fuck.
Please tell me they were at least short. Because if they were just walking around like 6'2",
by the time after I stopped trick or treating, I then just became the de facto candy handout person. And that's where I learned how fucking lazy people are. Because my childhood home, you had seen it. We have a very long driveway, and you'd be amazed how lazy kids are. If they see a driveway that's super long, even if the candy's right there, they'll just walk by. They wouldn't even bother. So the amount of times we'd be sitting there and we'd just see kids walk by, look over, and then just go, and just keep walking. I'd be like, okay.
I don't know why you just reminded me. You know what the funniest thing about going to my old neighborhood was? We actually parked our car at my childhood home. Because the people who live there now are actually really close family friends that I grew up with. Really?
That's funny.
Just ironically, and that's like the weirdest thing is going into that house and remembering all the work we did to that house and like how it was arranged when we lived there, and like multiple people have lived there since I was there, but like it's still fucking uncanny when I go there.
Yeah, it's like anytime I go home and I see like the things that have changed, but like then I still see like the neighborhood is mostly the same. Just less trees because trees just don't live in that area anymore.
See, all the deforestation in that neighborhood happened while I was still living there, so that was, like I said, it was like literally unchanged. Like it felt like even like when I was going up to the houses and they were opening up the doors and doing everything, the insides of the houses looked the same. It was fucking weird.
So the deforestation of my childhood neighborhood wasn't like because they wanted the trees gone. It was mostly out of necessity because that neighborhood was infamous because there's so many that neighborhood was like super like wooded for such a long time, And
Yeah.
it became infamous for a long time where anytime there was a snowstorm or a rainstorm, the power would be out for about a week because like 3 trees would go down and take the lines out.
Yeah.
And
Well,
this
that
happened,
particular town, I feel like, was famous for that.
and that happened constantly. Like even it still happens now. Like I the last big snow they had, I was talking to my mom and she had mentioned how like the streets are all blocked off because of like trees down and like it's bad this year. And I was like, God damn. So then of course I go home and then all the trees in my childhood house, all the trees were gone. I was like, damn, like these trees lasted so long because my dad was stubborn and wouldn't cut the trees down.
Hmm.
And they finally took them down because they were getting too old and starting to rot. And it was kind of like can't afford to have one hit the house or take out the power again. So
Hmm.
sign of the times.
Yeah, it was just crazy. I think Cindy was getting a little annoyed with me because I was like a fucking tour guy going through the neighborhood. I'm like, and this is the little patch of woods where I used to go to smoke my mom's cigarettes that I stole from her. And this, yeah, I was going through the fucking gauntlet, man. It's funny as fuck. And this is a kid. This is the house of a kid I used to hang out with. I don't remember his name, but he lived there. Like, just going through the whole thing. Yeah, like that one like little patch of deforestation. They cut all those trees down to build a house, and it's like at the bottom of like it's literally like a fucking like gorge almost. Like it's not like outrageous, but like you wouldn't want to walk up and down that driveway because it goes that deep. And like that was like the patch of woods I played in as a kid, and I was so fucking mad when they cut all those trees down. I was so fucking mad. And they built a house there. They built a fucking house there.
Oh yeah.
At the bottom, like it was like it was like the bottom of a basin. That is
Yeah.
the dumbest fucking place to build a house.
Like in my hometown, there was at one point they were going through this big building project. They were building a bunch of new houses, and
Mhm.
I know one of them they ran out of money, so it ended up just being a foundation that was unfinished, and like it had like they built the ground floor, but then that was where they ran out of money.
Mhm.
So it was basically just a basement with like the top of like what was going to be a house, and it sat like that for like a decade, like because they just never had the money. Like it basically was abandoned. Then they finally, I guess, at some point built a house there and like actually finished it. But I was like sitting here thinking like that was like a drug den for like so long.
See,
Like because
my
that's
first thought was that if that foundation was just in my neighborhood, like that would be where all the kids went and just fucked off. Like,
basically that's what it was. But they were doing
yeah.
drugs and shit in there. Because we went in there once and there was so many like fucking alcohol bottles, like needles and shit. We're like, okay, let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
Um, and I guess
not a
it's a
good
house
place to
now.
be.
So, but yeah,
Fair enough.
good times. We had no trick or treating here because I live in a mostly seniors condominium complex,
Hmm.
so not a lot of kids come down this way.
That's weird too, because yeah, because a lot of seniors live there, but I feel like that would be like a perfect neighbor, like kids in like other neighborhoods nearby. I feel like your neighborhood would be a great trick or treating spot if kids actually went there.
It would. The problem is everyone turns the lights off because no one wants to deal with it.
Oh, that's no fun. Connecticut's lame.
Well, I'm sure everywhere else it's a condominium complex. That's probably why. Well, it's
Yeah, but it's
mostly
not
like
like I don't know, like there's condos and then there's like what you guys have, which is basically like a bunch of duplexes.
yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things where I just don't think they want to be bothered. So
Yeah, that's why they're lame.
yeah. Yeah, it means I didn't have to get up at all. I
Yeah.
slept through Halloween again this year.
But
So
I don't know if you saw on Facebook, but Xander and his friends dressed up as the 4 South Park kids.
I saw that.
Yeah,
That was
Xander was
fun.
Kenny, and
Nice.
Frankie was Snow White because she's been
That's
super
fun.
into Snow White lately.
That's fun.
She was like full on, like she had the gloves and everything. Like she loves like the whole. She loves dressing up. It's like her favorite fucking thing. She has so many fucking costumes. Like we didn't even buy one special. She already had the costume.
That's
Like
fun.
she has so many fucking Disney princess costumes because her grandmother buys them all for her on Temu.
Nice. That's fun.
But yeah.
Uh,
So aside from that, I actually just because of circumstances, I ended up back in my old room at work for most of this past week. So I was able to get some anime watching.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
I have like not like I'm like the exact opposite.
What? My phone's being stupid. Here we go. Let's see. I didn't watch like a ton, but Cindy and I finished Chainsaw Man season 1, so hopefully, if things go well financially and we get the free time next weekend, I'm gonna try to go see the movie. We'll see what happens.
Nice.
If it's still in theaters, I hope. I have to imagine it will be because it's making money. So, but I ended up I started watching. Well, I rewatched the first season and then caught up with the current for Campfire Cooking in Another World, which
Nice.
did not fall off with season 2, so it's got that leg up over fucking Vending Machine.
To be fair though, that show at least had like some sort of like it was going somewhere. Vending Machine
Yeah,
was
well,
a joke that fell off after like half a season.
well, the joke with Campfire Cooking is that he wants nothing to do with adventuring, but he got all these ultra powerful familiars that just drag him along.
Yeah, but at least they do something with it. Like
Yeah.
the vending machine, they like realized the joke ran its course, and then they decided to try and make a plot around it, and realized, fuck, our main protagonist is a fucking vending machine. What do we do?
Yeah. But that's been going well. I've been enjoying season 2 of that. I also finished watching Desert Punk finally.
Nice.
That is an interesting show. It's it almost feels like it should be a ghost story situation, but I'm pretty sure that they actually kind of toned down the dub a little bit from what I've seen with the subs. Which is saying a lot because that show is pretty fucking ridiculous. And then I finished my rewatch of Cowboy Bebop, which was just kind of like a casual rewatch. I was just watching episodes here and there.
Nice.
Twisted Wonderland dropped its first episode this past week, and I started watching that. Well, first of all, I didn't know it was based on a mobile game. I thought it was just an original thing. And I was not expecting it to be an isekai.
Everything, I swear to God, is an isekai these days.
But it's a Disney isekai. But it's like so he gets isekai, right? And he comes out, and it's basically like not initiation. It's like the day one of like a magic school, like a Harry Potter style magic school, but all the houses are like based around different Disney villains. It seems like a bizarre concept, but I'm interested to see where it goes.
Nice.
And then I watched Wonder Egg Priority as well. I feel like that show had a really good premise to start with, and then it kind of fell flat at the end, which was kind of disappointing, but whatever. And then I also I started another show that is currently airing. I believe it's first season. And I'm gonna butcher this because I have no fucking idea how to say this. It's called Gachiakuta.
Oh, Alex loves that show.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Honestly, it's edgelord as fuck.
I know. I've been told by like multiple people to watch it. I just have not had the time.
No, it's edgelord as fuck, but it's very good. The main character is a dumpster diver.
Yeah, I've heard.
And his special ability is trash. And I'm not saying it's a bad ability. I'm saying his ability is literally trash.
I got the vibe from Alex. It's I mean, she likes it to the point she's already got the full manga, so.
Oh, really? I was actually thinking about how I wanted to read the manga, but we'll save that for another time. I'm still currently reading Soul Leader right now, so. But yeah, I'm really interested in where it's going for sure. And we've been watching Spy Family as a family.
Spy Family, it just feels right. Spy Family being back.
And like, so at the time of this recording,
have you watched episode 3 yet? Or
no? It's okay. I didn't know it was already out. I don't know what time it comes out on Saturdays, but
I hope you're ready for trauma. That's all.
I've read it all, so I already know what happens.
It hits a lot different animated. That's all I'll tell you.
Well, I'll say fucking Lloyd's dad fucking smacking the shit out of him hit different watching it rather than reading it.
Like I was watching Spy Family after reading it is a much different thing. Because
especially with the mood whiplash.
Yeah. Well, especially because that entire flashback is all because Lloyd had a panic attack because Anya got another bolt. Which, by the way, that bolt scene is fucking amazing
Yeah.
in the anime. Because the manga it was pretty good, but oh my god, it hit totally different in the anime.
I totally forgot that was what triggered his fucking flashback
Yeah.
sequence. Um,
Yep.
but yeah, so like this is one of those instances where like I know that Cindy and Xander are gonna get wicked mad with this next episode
Oh,
because
the
because
conclusion of the
this
flashback.
yeah, because it's gonna go because they assume, oh, spoilers, they assume his friends are dead. And then like they're gonna get that
Uh-huh.
whole scene with him reuniting with them and them just immediately dying.
Uh-huh.
It's just, what the
Yeah.
fuck? It's
Yeah.
kind of like how I feel about um like Cindy's gonna hate me for getting her into Chainsaw Man because I'm sure you saw her Facebook post. She was super into season one. She's
Uh-huh.
gonna hate me for getting her into it like big time.
Uh-huh.
Her favorite character is Power.
Uh-huh. Oh,
Uh,
and she doesn't even know about part two.
oh,
Part two
she
is a
knows nothing. She
part.
knows nothing.
So I was talking. So me and Alex saw the Rize arc on
Mhm.
Monday. Phenomenal film. Great. Worth the wait. That's what I'll say. Um, but you can split Chainsaw Man season the first part one into like two halves. There's the first half. The Rize arc is kind of this weird middle thing, and then the second half where shit goes fucking bonkers.
Yeah.
And then part two, it gets even more it's completely its own
Yep.
bonkers. Like to the point where you're like, what the fuck even is this anymore?
Yeah. Yeah. Which I think part two is coming to its conclusion very soon. It
I
seems that way where the last chapter is at.
I don't know because I'm only in the physicals, but where volume 19 left off, I was like, okay.
Where did
That also
Volume
had
19 leave off? I don't remember.
right after a certain character that may or may not be the reincarnation of another character is now dead.
Oh, okay. All right, so you still got a bit to go. Okay.
Yeah, there's quite a bit. And the last scene is where Asa loses another arm, and then if she doesn't have a mouth, which is bizarre.
Asa loses an arm and doesn't have him. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Okay, I
that's where it
remember.
leaves off.
Yeah, because like the mouth devil or something was eaten, something like that. It was weird.
Yeah, some weird shit. I'm so like, I'm still interested because I actually prefer Asa as the main character over Denji. I'm like in the minority there, I know that, but I'm curious where it's going. But at the same time, I'm just like,
See, I see. Everybody says like the main character changes and everything else, but Denji's still. But like, I never really like. Yeah, she got the focus for like a good volume and a half, 2 volumes or so. But like, I still wouldn't consider her the main character.
she's definitely the main character for the first half of part two.
That's fair. I never got the impression because the way that people would talk about it made it seem like it was like this big shift, and like in a little way, like at the beginning it was, but like it very quickly switched back to Denji, and then like yeah, it kind of split our time equally between them,
Yeah,
but it still feels like Chainsaw Man is the guy. He's the main guy.
he is. The thing with
Uh,
part two is it's basically like everything they established in part one. Spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen Chainsaw Man or read it yet. Everything they established in part one is basically thrown the fuck out when the second part two starts.
yeah, kinda,
Like
kinda.
the whole time I'm watching the movie with Alex, and she's all like, so she basically asked me like about the gun devil and all this stuff, and basically every response I had was perhaps unclear,
Oh, so she
maybe.
hasn't read the manga.
No, the most she knows is up to where Rize arc ends now.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
She hasn't. She just hasn't read it yet. I keep telling her she's got to read it because it's a quick read and holy shit! Like,
Yeah, it's a very quick read. But
um,
it's like they throw so much at you all at once, and I feel like it's gonna hit way different with the anime. So with Cindy being anime only, like when that
she
fucking when that fucking heel turn with Makima comes around, like, whew, whew.
so the Rize arc is like the perfect warm up for the manga, the anime onlys, because it's still mostly in line with part one, but you can see the shift is starting a little.
Mhm.
And then once like Rize arc's over, it's like, oh, they're not ready. They are not ready for what's about to come.
Nope.
Going
Just
back
like
to
all the anime, just like how all the anime onlys aren't ready for season 3 of JJK.
no, I'm
Not ready
not.
in the slightest.
I'm not. I know that. Um, going back to Spy Family though, have you seen the trailers for the current? Because I'm a little annoyed the dub is behind like 3 episodes.
I kind of expected it.
Yeah, it's annoying because like you see the trailers for what's coming. I saw the trailer for the most recent episode and I was like, oh man, it's time.
For the school bus?
That's coming, but the big reveal in the most recent episode is Melinda finally shows up.
Oh, okay. I wasn't
And
sure.
we're gonna get the
I
whole
didn't remember
your
where that
volleyball.
happened.
Yeah, we're gonna get the your volleyball arc and then all that fun stuff. Yours gonna get to do something because she hasn't done a whole lot in a while.
Well, I mean, she took up a very large portion of season 2, so
That's fair. Um, that's fair.
she was
I
kind of
mean,
like she was kind of the main character of season 2 for a lot of it.
yeah, and she's gonna go on a hiatus for quite a bit coming up pretty soon. So
Oh, I don't know, because
during the whole flashback arc, like the Mr. Elegant like flashback arcs and stuff, like she doesn't appear at all throughout
is
those.
that even gonna be in season 3?
I doubt it, but
I was gonna say I don't think there's gonna. Although that being said, I expected the Lloyd backstory stuff to be a lot longer than like an episode and a half.
they are rushing through it a little, which I find a little. Well, they're not even rushing through it. They actually covered it pretty much the same as the manga.
Yeah, it's just flowing more quickly, just
Yeah.
on the screen as opposed to reading it.
Well, it's a weird case where like Spy Family is very wordy, but when you actually voice the words and animate it, it goes by a lot faster than you read it.
Yeah, for sure,
Um,
for sure.
I am looking forward to the school bus arc. I can't wait. I want to see Yor just run to the bus on foot because she's.
Dude, I can't wait for when we actually get the Mr. Elegant backstory and Cindy and
So
Xander
everyone
see
can
it.
cry. Everyone can cry.
Like, because Xander actually forgot who he was until
He
we
won't
got
later.
back into it.
He won't later.
But yeah, no, and I was talking about it with them recently about how like Spy Family is such like an interesting monster where like it is like this super lighthearted, like chill kind of story, but then every now and then it'll just fucking smash your feels in the face with a baseball bat. Like just out of nowhere, be like, why? Why are you doing this to me?
I don't want to break it up, but this is foul.
What is it?
It's a Sam Adams cold brew coffee flavored beer. I opened it up and I smelled it. I'm like, that smells horrendous. I took a sip. I'm like, this is foul.
I will never touch any sort of canned coffee alcohol ever again. Not after I tried the Spike Dunkin'. That shit was fucking foul.
I don't like it.
I hate it. It was terrible. I could, and I'm the kind of person who doesn't like to waste. Like if I buy something, even if I've never had it before and I end up not liking it, I try to fucking finish it because I don't want to waste the money that I spent on it. But I ended up fucking just pouring them out because they were so gross.
It's kind of weird. The second taste is better. I don't like it now. Anyways,
one of those ones that grows on you.
Yeah, I'm like maybe it was just the first taste, like a little better. Moving
maybe
away
it's
from
just
that,
not
though.
what maybe it's just not what you were expecting.
It's probably because I smelled it first and the smell was awful.
Fair.
Going back to that though, another one that we've both been watching, The Fragrant Flower. That most recent episode was interesting.
Yeah, again, like they're fucking moving right through that whole like the thing that would normally take like seasons of other like of these kinds of shows. It's just kind of moving right along.
It's weird. I still like it a lot. I just don't know what to think of it. Like I wasn't expecting the trauma dump in the most recent episode.
Also, like I'm wondering, like how long is this show gonna be? Because I feel like they're hitting all the points that usually stretch these shows out, and if it ends up being like somewhat long, I'm like, what kind of conflict are we gonna have as we go through this?
There's at least 13 volumes, probably more. 13 that are scheduled to be released over here.
So there's
Um,
at least a couple seasons worth of material.
there's quite a bit. I'm actually surprised that because when I picked up the manga, I was surprised that there was already 8 volumes. I was like, oh, it's one of these.
Hmm.
Um,
I
I
did
like it
actually.
though.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I did actually start another show that I forgot to mention. I
Which
started
one?
watching. Ayla sometimes hides her feelings in Russian.
Oh, that's on my list. I just keep forgetting to get to it.
It's charming. It's charming in its own way. It's really funny because like, so the girl, I think she's like half Russian, half Japanese, and she moved from Russia. But like the dude, like she doesn't know that the dude had a childhood friend from Russia, so he learned Russian as a child. So like, she has no idea that he knows exactly what she's saying at all times.
Oh, that's a fun take on that.
Yeah.
I'll have to speed watching that at some point because I know it has a season 2 already confirmed.
It's just a 12-er for season one, so it's it's
Maybe
not too much.
it'll be like Dress Up Darling, and it'll just end up being like this thing that I'm invested in for no reason.
It could be. It could be. It definitely, like I said, it definitely has a charm to it for sure.
Oh, going back to Fragrant Flower before we move completely away from that. What are your thoughts on the dub?
Um,
It's a weird dub.
for the most part, it's okay. There's a couple characters that are like wonky.
You can
I think you were
tell.
right. I think it is more the direction than the actors, with the exception of one of them. I
Well,
think one of the actors just isn't experienced enough.
the biggest what's the main female's name? I always forget her name.
Karako.
Koriko Wagari. Nothing against her actress, but this is definitely her first anime.
Well, it's actually her third,
Is it
but
really?
they were spread out over like 15 years.
That's a odd. It's
Yeah.
odd.
And I have no idea what kind of acting she had before that, if she was doing like stage acting or if she was in like live action stuff. But as far as anime, I looked into it. She's only done, this is like her third in the
Well, I
past
think
like 12 to 15 years.
I finally noticed what my issue with her voice was. Because the performance is inconsistent, to say the least. Like it's
Mhm.
because by like episode 3, I thought she was getting better, but then like there's been some of even the most recent episode, I'm like, not sure if I like it or not.
Mhm.
She sounds too old for the character.
Yeah, that's fair.
Which is
But at the same time, she's doing like the little girl, like high pitched voice.
yeah, I think it's because I think they're trying to go for the fact that she's like an older girl, but she kind of has that childlike feel to her
Yeah, that's
kind of
fair.
situation. But I just don't think it's working. I'll give it more time. I think it might get better. Everyone
Oh,
just feels awkward. That's the thing.
backtracking a little bit to Spy Family. Is it the same actress playing Anya? Because something feels
Um,
off about it.
so during season 2, her main actress had to step away for I think it was health reasons.
Oh, okay. So is it the same replacement?
I think the original's back.
Oh, so who voiced Anya for the movie? Was it the
Let
original
me
or the replacement?
let me look that up because I'm actually not 100% sure. 'Cause it was a quick swap. I know it was the majority of season 2. It was the second voice. See, Spy Hamlet, yes, Spy Family.
Spy Hamlet.
Might as well. It's the most like tonally confused, like 8 time frame confused show at times.
For real.
Um, so Anya's main voice, I believe, is Megan Shipman, but Bryn April was doing it for season 2, I believe.
Mhm.
I think. I'm not 100% sure. Let me check this. English. Okay, Bryn April was the temporary voice during she was pregnant. That's why she was on maternity leave.
Oh, okay. Makes
Um
sense.
yeah, it was the second season, but I believe Megan's back and she also I believe did the movie.
Okay.
Yeah,
Alright.
there was a swap there. I mean, I liked her performance during the bolt scene.
Mhm.
We got her
Yeah, that was
classic
pretty good.
like, "Hey son, here, take my handkerchief."
It's okay. I have a backup handkerchief. Oh
Yeah.
no. I just imagined that I put a second handkerchief in here.
I also there's a great scene with Bond in the most recent episode. I won't spoil it, but yeah.
It's great.
Um,
Um,
have you started the My Hero Academia season 8?
yes. Yes. There
Did you
were
see
like
today's episode?
I have not yet.
Okay. I actually liked Bakugo for an episode, so
Oh yeah, because at the end of the last one, he kind of just like showed up, was like, "I'm back. Here I am. I'm gonna
yeah,
help." Yeah,
I'm
that's
gonna
right. Oh
help.
yeah, because All for One was on his way. He was trying to get over there, and
I'm just annoyed by All for One at this point. Like at this point, I'm just
yeah,
like,
just
just
fucking
die
die
already.
already.
Uh,
Like, nobody likes you.
also, Deku spends like that entire fight just standing there holding what's his name in like Black Whip. Like
Hmm.
I'm like, are you guys
Yeah,
like supposed to be fighting
Shigaraki, is that his name?
Shigaraki? Yeah,
He's way more interesting villain than fucking All for One is.
he is, especially because he's going rogue now. Um,
Hmm.
and he has an actual backstory that I'm interested in.
Yeah.
Um, no, it's been good. I'm glad I actually watched that and I actually can actually see the final season unravel real time.
Yeah, Studio Bones is fucking killing it.
Mm.
That
No, they
animation
are.
is fucking wild.
No, it is. It's crazy. I'm actually it's kind of sad it's going to be over.
Hmm.
It's
And
another series.
Cindy and I still have we've been continuing Free Run a little bit. We haven't been like binging it or anything, but we've been watching like a couple episodes here and there. I think we're on like episode 8 or something at this point. And yeah, she's getting really. I think we're at the part where they encounter those demons in the town, and they're like there for like peace talks, but like they're not actually there for peace talks.
Yeah, that whole arc.
It was like when we
That
kind of get introduced to like how demons work in this world.
that's where we get the amazing arc, the amazing scene of like Stark being like, "Fern, take my hand," and then Fern just being like, "Fuck that," just flying over him.
Just ew. Yeah, that's
uh,
pretty great. Oh, and I finished Sayuki Journey West finally.
nice,
I finally buckled down and just fucking banged it out. It was good. It's a solid tactical RPG.
nice.
One that was, I feel like, unjustifiably overlooked just because of the era of fucking RPGs at the time. It just kind of there was so much going on that it just kind of got lost in the ether.
Yeah, it also came out late in the PS1 era, and so many obscure
Yeah.
RPGs fell to the wayside then.
But that was good, and I ended up picking up Dragon Quest Six again, and I'm
6 is
finally
a good
making
one.
progress on that. I'm like 17, 18 hours in.
6 is weird because it unfortunately had to follow probably the two best entries in the entire series.
Yeah, that's fair to say, and that definitely I had a hand in why I was kind of putting it off for so long because I could tell right from the start that it wasn't going to be on the same level. But it's good. I like the way the job system works in this game as compared to like the past couple, where it's like you kind of have to like choose your jobs for each character and like
Mm.
organize them in that way. So that's been fun.
Yeah,
But no, it's going well so far. I think I'm not quite there, but I think I'm starting to approach about the halfway point, give or take.
mm.
Um, but we'll see how it goes.
Nice. Um, yeah,
Probably a good time to jump into our topic.
yeah.
We're
I'm,
40
I'm
minutes in.
yeah. We didn't even have a segment to take up that time. It's fine.
Which we'll have to start talking about when we want to bring that back.
Yeah, we'll talk about that, but after. But for this episode, we're if you couldn't tell by the opening was a bit vague. We're
Yeah.
talking about the next. Actually, we said it in the last episode. We're talking about the next arc in the Dragon Ball Super manga.
Yes, which at this point, with the exception of like the minor changes they make in the superhero arc, uh, pretty much catches you up to speed with what's going on with Dragon Ball.
Yeah, because I saw like right at the end, I was like, "Oh, superheroes next," and then I saw the big spread page. I'm like, "Oh, we're actually gonna get some fleshed out stuff. Cool."
Yes,
Um,
because the first three chapters after this one ends is like a little prequel saga before superhero, and there's another 4 chapters after the arc. So we do get a
okay,
little bit more like bookend stuff for that movie.
yeah, we're gonna have to wait for that final volume to come out.
I think it comes out in March,
Yeah,
I believe. But I mean, you could just read it on Shonen Jump for those last few
yeah,
chapters.
that's true. I could. Um,
But I mean, we still got a little ways before we even get to that anyway, so it's not
yeah,
a huge deal.
but yeah. So the arc we covered was the Granola arc. Um, very similar, but also different from the Moro arc.
Yeah, it is definitely a more action heavy arc than Moro was, which isn't. I mean, Moro was pretty action heavy too, but I feel like there was a lot more like underlying things going on with Moro, and like this arc definitely has some of that too, with like kind of the whole grudge situation, um, like the
Yeah,
role he play and everything. But
there's a big backstory drop that I was not expecting, and I was
yeah,
like, "Oh, okay, this is I'm interested now."
and now it makes
Yeah,
sense why Bardock was on the cover of one of the volumes.
yeah, it doesn't make sense why Chi Chi was on the cover of the following volume when she doesn't appear once in that volume, but that's besides the point. Um,
Yeah, well,
aside from a
most of
gag chapter
but
in between
yeah,
page, but
most of the time the Dragon Ball volume covers are just kind of like, oh, this is kind of a fun thing to draw.
like I said, there's that one that has the entire San family on the cover, and I'm like, none of them appear in this volume.
I mean, to be fair, even with the original manga, like Toriyama would just draw them all driving cars, even though none of
I
them
know.
did.
I know. That that one I just found funny. I'm like, oh, that's nice. And I'm like, oh, they none of them appear in this one. Okay.
In fact, I don't know if you knew this, but um, the opening songs, like for like OG Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, a lot of those little images, like like Bulma with like all the different crazy outfits and shit, like those are all actually like chapter covers and volume
Mm,
covers from the original manga,
yeah.
which is like I don't know, it's a fun thing that I feel actually a lot of animes from back in the day did that. Like I think Naruto did the same thing.
Mm.
But yeah, so Granola. So we get a number of new characters here. Well, first of all, like we do something here, which is something that we haven't really seen since like Dragon Ball Z, which is one arc naturally flowing into the next.
Yeah.
Because you think back to like say like Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, like take Z for example, like the Saiyan Saga would be like, oh no, by the end of the Saiyan Saga, all of our friends are dead and all the Dragon Balls are gone, so we have to go to Namek to get their Dragon Balls to wish them back, and that kind of triggers the whole Namek saga. And then at the end of that, it's like, all right, we beat Frieza, and then Frieza shows up again, and Trunks comes down and kills him, and he's like, hey, this is the stuff that's going to happen. Like we used to get these natural transitions from one arc to another, and that kind of went away in Super. And this is the
Yeah.
first time I feel like we're like, yeah, because the Super arcs were really isolated in that way. But this is like going from Moro to Granola. It feels like a natural transition. Like the 7-3 was left, and he's still technically alive, and he's trying to regenerate. And then these guys come down and they take him, and then Granola has to go and steal the regenerating 7-3 for the heaters and bring it back to them, and that kicks off this whole arc. Um, How do you well? First of all, how do you feel about Granola's design?
I liked it because I'm so we haven't had a no, that's a lie. I forgot about Goku Black's original form. I was gonna say we haven't had a more humanoid character in a while. That's a lie, we did with Zamatsu, but
I mean, kind of, sort of. He got pretty fucking grotesque by the end of that. So.
by the end, but he started out at least
Mhm.
somewhat humanoid. Um, Granola though is interesting because he's basically like another variation of a Saiyan from like a different species, kind of.
Hmm. Yeah, because like his whole like story is that he is the lone survivor of a race that was wiped out by the Saiyans before the Saiyans themselves were wiped out.
Yes.
Which we've seen this kind of thing before with like the Tuffles and stuff, but like I feel like this is kind of like saying the Tuffles done right isn't really. I wouldn't say that's accurate because I feel like there is a different way you could have done the Tuffles where it would have been better than this. Because this is kind of like, so he wants revenge on Frieza, but it's like, oh no, Frieza's already dead. But then he finds out the Frieza's still alive. So he's like, okay, so now I'm going to do all this crazy shit. I'm going to fucking get the Dragon Balls and wish to be the strongest in the universe, which, first of all, that even being an option is fucking wild to me. Like being able
Yeah.
to just wish on the Dragon Balls, and like the way it works is just like, oh well, you know what? The best I can do is bring out your potential, but what I can do is take your entire like lifespan and compress it into 3 years, and that will make you stronger than anybody else.
Yeah.
Uh, so basically, like he's down to 3 years of his life,
Where
even
he
though he would
was.
have like another 150 years to live if he didn't do that.
Yeah. I did.
Super bummer.
I did say like when he made that wish, like when that wish first happens, I'm like, I was a little annoyed because I was like, oh, we're doing this again. But then when they kind of had that caveat of they left that little mystery of like he's like, I'm like, oh, there's a caveat to it. Okay, what does that mean?
Yeah.
And then they reveal it. I'm like, oh, okay,
Like a monkey's paw kind of thing. And it's
yeah,
also kind of a way of them kind of sweeping it under the rug. Like, hey, there's this ultra powerful dude, but by the time End of Z happens, he'll already be dead, so it's fine.
yeah. If that's still canon, we have no fucking idea at this point. We'll find out eventually. Uh, but
Hopefully. Well, we didn't mention that there was some news or news that there will be news because in January there's gonna be some sort of Dragon Ball event where they will be announcing 3 new Dragon Ball projects, one of which is a game, 2 of which are not. They didn't say what those will be. My hope is that it will be the manga and the super anime will be coming back. I would also be happy with the manga and a movie, but I want the manga to come back one way or the other. It has to. God, fucking, it's been too long. We need the manga back already. Jesus Christ. Um, but oh, and I don't know if you heard this sidebar. They're making Suikoden 2 into an anime.
yeah, I've seen. Um, we'll see. That's gonna.
I have a friend who's very excited about that, so we'll see how that goes. I still haven't played it myself, but
That is a very dense plot, so I'm curious how they handle that. Um,
hmm.
so
So yeah, going back to Dragon Ball. What were you saying?
so when he made the whole wish to become the strongest in the universe, my immediate thought, because Dragon Ball is so predictable at times, my immediate thought I was like, okay, Goku and Vegeta are about to get new powers because that's how this works.
Well,
Um,
Vegeta is.
Vegeta
Goku kind
is
of like remains at where he's at because like we get the scene of him training with Whis before all this shit goes down, and basically Whis is like, yeah, you achieve the Master Ultra Instinct form, but part of your problem is you're thinking of it as a form. It's not a transformation per se. It's a state of being, which is an argument that people have been having since Tournament of Power. Um, he's like, you're thinking of it in terms of a transformation, and that's kind of holding you back. You need to be able to access this in your base form. Um, and so, like, basically, like the whole time, Goku's trying to figure out how to do that. And apparently, like the higher level form he's in, the more control he has over that ability. So, like, being able to master Ultra Instinct while in base is kind of like the goal.
yeah.
Uh,
Well, Goku's kind of hit his. I don't want to say ceiling because this is Dragon Ball. We know he's going to probably find something else, but now he's
well,
got
one
to like
thing
just
that
master it.
Yeah, well, one thing that I did like is that, like, as we're like during the whole fight with Gas, which we'll get to the heaters in a minute, But he does kind of hit a point where he's like, all right, Master Ultra Instinct isn't really working for me because at the end of the day, I'm immortal and I feel. So he kind of decides that Ultra Instinct Omen is more fit for him and that it works better with his fighting style. And I like that. I like that he's choosing, like, hey, I'm actually going to go for the slightly less powerful version of this because it just works with my fighting style better.
Yeah.
Which kind of like it kind of has like a little weird like parallel with like say the Cell Saga, because they were trying so hard. We're going to ascend. We're going to get to the next level of Super Saiyan because that's what we need to do. And they did that. They got multiple levels above Super Saiyan, and he was just like, yeah, but Super Saiyan is just kind of better all around. So I'm just going to work on mastering that.
Super Saiyan 3 is fucking useless. I swear to God.
Well, not even that. I'm talking about like the buff forms, like the Super Vegeta and like the big buff Trunks form, like all those like kind of like grades between Super Saiyan 1 and Super Saiyan 2.
Yeah.
That they were kind of fucking around with in that arc. Like he was just kind of like, yeah, none of these really work for me. So I'm just gonna stick with OG Super Saiyan and just make it like as comfortable to me as my base form.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what he's doing here with that, which I think is a good move.
There was also,
since I feel like the black-haired Ultra Instinct is the cooler version.
Yeah.
Either way.
I was gonna say also, like, another thing that I noticed right away with the writing this time around is this is where you can really tell that Toyotaru is very clearly the ghostwriter here. Because there were so many references to old Dragon Ball stuff, and I'm like, this ain't Toriyama. He wouldn't remember this shit.
Yeah. Well, did you read any of like the little Q&A things at the end of some of the volumes?
Probably not.
There was a couple where there were like these little interview sections with Toyotaru, and a lot of this arc was his idea. I mean, Toriyama did have his input, and he kind of was just like, hey, well, this should be like this, and the design should be like that. This element should be thrown into the story to make it more interesting. But for the most part, this was Toyotaru's baby, this whole arc.
I could tell because the Moro arc still kind of felt like the stuff before. This arc really felt different in a lot of ways, tonally, writing wise.
Well, even like the concept of like, and you can't really call him a villain because he's more of an antagonist. He's being misdirected. The Saiyans are being misdirected.
I right from the start, I was like, Granola's not the villain. He's very much. But
the concept of the antagonist being a sniper is just a really interesting idea. Especially since like accuracy has never really been a huge thing in Dragon Ball. Like hitting pressure points and like specific points on the body that are weak. It's just like it was never really a thing. It was always just hit him really, really hard and hope he goes down.
Touch it and hope for the best.
Like, in addition to say there isn't martial arts, but they never focused specifically on like the science of fighting.
Yeah, I mean, maybe OG Dragon Ball a little more because that one was more about the fighting, but yeah, from Z onward, it just became lasers.
Yeah,
lasers everywhere.
Yep. Which I mean, there's still. I mean, when we say he's a sniper, like he does occasionally use like physical weapons, but for the most part, he's just shooting energy blasts from long distance. Because he's from a race of people called the Ceruleans, and they have these like special eyes. Because of course it's anime, so he's got to have special eyes.
And they're all named after breakfast cereal.
Yeah, the Ceruleans, and he also has a robotic AI assistant named Oatmeal. Which that was like a big mystery because I know you're not getting the same effect, but I was reading these as the chapters are coming out month to month. Each of these arcs was taking me like a good 2 years to get through just because of like the release rate.
Yeah.
So like even though like going through the volumes now, it's such a quick read, like these were spread out over a long period of time. So there was so many theories running around about who Oatmeal is, like what that whole deal is, about how like what kind of powers is Granola gonna get from the wish, and like there's all these different little things about it, or like what kind of wish is Elect gonna make. there's just so many different aspects to it. And there's a lot of points too where people were just like, "When's Frieza gonna show up? Is Frieza gonna show up? Because he's being talked about a whole hell of a lot in this arc." Like, and spoilers,
He
he showed up.
does. We'll talk about that when we get to it because I have things to say with that. But
Yeah.
uh,
We should probably talk a little bit about the heaters at this point.
I'm not gonna lie, I did not like them very much.
You don't like them as villains?
Well, I liked Gas. The other ones I couldn't give a shit. In all honesty.
Well, I like the idea of an organization trying to gain power through like money and intel. Like that's a really interesting thing for Dragon Ball because it's not something you generally see. And even when you do see it, it's usually something that's like kind of reduced to nothing almost immediately after they show their hand, which is kind of what happens here a little bit, but only just because they rushed it. And honestly, they got everything they deserved because they set themselves up for failure right off the bat because they didn't understand the Saiyans at all.
I think my problem is I did the leader one. He's the one that annoyed me the most, and the way he dies is so. I was like, okay,
fitting. It's fitting.
It's what I expected, but it didn't make me feel any better.
I love how at the end they're just like, "Oh, you're actually the weakest of the heaters." I'm like, "Yeah, I kind of got that."
I saw that kind of coming because he literally hid behind his gun the entire time and didn't do anything.
What's up with that gun anyway? Because that thing was fucking. He fucking put a hole through Granola with that gun. So that thing got some
Granola.
power.
What was the Namekian's name?
Monaito.
Granola's mom. A lot of people.
Actually, I think he didn't he shoot Bardock through the arm with it?
He did, yeah. Fuck that. He's got the damn Halo pistol.
Yeah, he does. Yeah,
he's got the Halo pistol. That's what's going on.
It's either the Halo pistol or the zombies ray gun, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, Gas. I found the most.
I like their designs a lot.
Though. Yeah, they're unique, like the blue skin and the hair kind of thing.
The dreadlocks and stuff. Yeah, it's a really interesting design.
What was the female one's name?
Maki. She was the only one where everyone's just like, what the hell is a Maki heater? What does that mean? Because they're all like all their names are based off of like different forms of heat. So you have elec, which is electric heat, oil, gas. What the fuck is Maki?
I don't know.
You know what?
Mechanical, maybe?
What does Maki mean? Maki definition. Japanese. Okay, it just means roll or wrap. So maybe it's like wrapping yourself up in a blanket.
A blanket.
Maybe it's like maybe it's like a blanket, like manual heat. And it's just like, yeah, I'm just gonna use my own body heat.
I will say with her, I really did I did enjoy the scene where they go to who's the guy that knows everything?
Zuno.
They go to Zuno, and she gives him the kiss, and he's like, you can have 15 wishes because I think you're hot. I'm just
pretty much. Which is like even Bulma only got 3. Which is
she's sagging slightly, don't you know?
Yeah, she's slightly sagged over the years.
Do you think she'd get more now that she's wishing herself younger?
Maybe it's possible. I mean, they make it clear that Zuno likes his women feisty. I mean, that's why the only reason she got 3 is because she's feisty.
Goku should have.
I wonder how many. I wonder how many. What's her name? Broly's girl there. I wonder how many she would get.
True. I was gonna say Goku should have brought Chi-Chi, but Chi-Chi would not be down for that.
No, and Chi-Chi's aging faster than Bulma anyway, so.
Poor thing.
Zuno likes his ladies young and feisty.
Also, speaking of Chi-Chi, she actually did something in this arc for like 2 minutes, but
I mean, kind of. She called them up on the phone and said, "Hey, can you come back here?"
Oh, she didn't even do that. Bulma called up. Bulma was the one that called. Chi-Chi was just there. Yeah, but she appeared, which is more that's happened with her in like most of the manga. So
true. Was she even in Superhero?
No. No. She wasn't even in Brawly.
Well, Broly at least made sense. Superhero, with it being focused on Gohan and Pan, you'd think we'd see her once.
Well, she gets mentioned. She gets mentioned offhand, but doesn't appear. and she barely has appeared in the last couple of manga arcs. So when she showed up there, I was like, "Oh my god, Chi-Chi, I forgot about you."
Hmm.
No, I think my literal comment while I was reading was, I was like, "Ooh, a Chi-Chi sighting,"
Hmm.
because I noticed she was in the little, the you open up the book and there's like the little like these are the characters page.
Hmm.
She was in one of them, and I was like, "Oh, they're mentioning Chi-Chi. That's weird."
Oh
And then
shit.
I'm like, and then she appeared. I was like, "Oh, there
It was
she is."
probably in the volume that she was in like three panels of. And she was just
Yeah,
like, we're running out of Satan's money. Like, how the fuck are you running out of 50 million zenny in fucking how many years has it been? Like 6 years?
yeah. Also, Goku's barely there. It's not like he's eating all the food.
And Gohan's a functional adult at this point, like with a job and a family. Like, so it's not like she's spending on his education.
I think Chi-Chi's just likes to live
Fuck is she
large.
spending it all?
I think she just likes to live big. I don't
She
know.
lives on a fucking in a hut on a mountain. What is she spending it on? You know what? No, I take that back. She's spending it on the food bill. That's what it is. She's spending it on the food bill. But Goku can just go out and fucking hunt a dinosaur and bring it back. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's on the electricity bill, keeping all the meat frozen, so they have a consistent stock of meat. I'm dedicated to this is food related, and I think yeah, I get it. She still has a kid she's raising, so like she has his education, but like Goten's not exactly the brightest bulb.
Yeah,
He's not exactly the sharpest knife in the crayon box. So
especially because we find out later that he's the most human out of the Sun children. So
yeah. Well, I
uh,
mean, this is also based on GT, so we'll see where that goes.
true, um, true. But yeah, I just found it amusing that she appeared. I was like, oh, like the second they were like, we're gonna give you gold. I'm like, Chi-Chi's not getting that gold. She ain't
Hmm.
getting that gold.
Nope. And it's never brought up either at the end.
No, that's
Where
why I was like,
she was expecting gold.
we did get that nice in between chapter page of her mowing down on some food though. I
Yeah.
was like, Togetaro, man, like, what are you trying to tell us with this one?
Yeah. Um, so one thing we haven't mentioned yet is so we mentioned Goku's training with Whis and like the meaning behind all that. We haven't talked about Vegeta's little arc here.
So, is it wrong for me to just have a feeling that Togetaro really likes Vegeta?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, because my God, the amount of character development this man has had in these last couple arcs, like,
Mhm.
holy
Oh
crap.
yeah, like between him kind of like trying to make up for his sins against the Namekians in the last arc, and then here he's like so he's training and he's just like, oh, ultra instinct isn't for me. And Beerus is like, all right, well, you could always learn my techniques and my shit. He's like, I'm
I'm
not gonna
not
like
gonna teach
go out
you.
of my way
You
to
can.
teach you, but if you want to watch me while I'm training and just kind of pick up what you can, which ends up working for him just fine. Um,
Hmm.
and then like all of a sudden, Beerus fucking drops the mic and is just like, yeah, by the way, I told Frieza to kill your people.
Yeah,
Which
just
is a reveal we've been waiting for like a decade at this
and
point.
it was
Because
so
like
unsatisfying because I was just like,
it was like because right before that, like Vegeta's doing this whole like, oh, the Saiyans got what they deserved, this and that. Like we had all these sins and we were doing all these awful things. Like this was it was inevitable that it was going to happen. And Beerus is like, oh, it was inevitable, was it? Because I told Frieza to do it. And then he gets super mad about it. And it's just like, what are you getting mad for, dude?
see, I was like annoyed by
You
that because I
just
was like,
said you accepted it for what it was.
yeah,
And then
that
and then he gets his beat down and he's like, all right, fine, whatever. Like we expected, like we because they teased this all the way back when Beerus was introduced in Battle of Gods, the movie. So back
yeah,
in
he said,
2013.
flat out says it in the movie.
And like here we finally it was always like and then in Resurrection, when they brought it up again, he was like, "Oh, keep that under wraps. We don't want Vegeta to find out about that." Make this huge deal for like 10 years about keeping it secret from Vegeta. He's just like, "Oh, by the way," it was just kind of like a really like it just kind of fell flat. It was just like, oh, we were building up this reveal for
Yeah.
so long, and it ended up being kind of nothing.
Well, at the same time, too, like the whole time, like when it finally happened, my whole thought process of it was like, what the fuck's Vegeta gonna do? It's not like he can
Mhm.
fight fucking Beerus. Beerus keeps
Yeah,
them around because he a needs them for things, but also he kind of likes them.
yeah,
If he got annoyed and was finally just done with them, he could just delete them if he wanted.
yeah.
So
Oh, they entertain him, and
the
Beerus
food,
has a thing for Bulma, and and the food. So
The food. And
it's
Whis
mostly
likes
the food.
them. And
Yeah.
Whis likes them.
Oh,
He listens to Whis more than he lets on. It's very clear. So,
but ultimately, Vegeta starts training to use the destruction technique and just the destruction god energy in general.
basically, what
Um,
Toppa was doing in a Tournament of Power.
Pretty much, yeah. But like, he's a Saiyan, so he's picking it up pretty quick.
Yeah.
And also, like, they explain the way destruction works, which is pretty cool. Like, we actually got like an explanation of how it's different than just using ki blasts and destroying things. Because essentially, like, from what I understand, they didn't explain it in these exact terms, but it seems to me that the process of using the destruction technique is essentially turning potential energy into kinetic energy.
Hmm.
So he's taking the potential energy of an object or a being or something and making that active energy, making that energy kind of just explode. And
Yes.
that's what makes the whatever it is or whoever it is kind of just cease to exist, because it's just all that energy is just gone.
Hmm.
Um, and Vegeta starts picking it up pretty quickly. I mean, he starts with this tiny little pebble on his finger, but
Yeah.
even that was enough to be like pretty fucking strong,
I
at
do
that
like the
point.
first. I like the first time he does it, and Beerus just like, you just blew it up with your energy blast.
Yeah, that doesn't count. And then it destroys the waterfall. He's like, I like that waterfall, asshole.
Yeah, it's all right. We can put it back later.
Yeah. Um,
They also just destroyed multiple planets for the fuck of it. The decorative planets.
yeah, they're just there for show. But then they get worried about the whole thing, so they're heading back, and it's like like an 18 hour or 18-day flight through space to get there.
Yeah.
So they're both doing their respective training. Goku's training with Ultra Instinct, Vegeta's training with the Destruction Power, and eventually they get there. And Granola, like he gets wind from the heaters that the Saiyans are after him, even though they're the ones who sick them on him. Um, just being like, oh, by the way, there are some Saiyans left, and they're on their way to kill you. You should totally get Frieza's location out of them, because they totally still work for Frieza.
Oh, we forgot to mention too the Beerus gave Vegeta one of his earrings.
Oh yes, the symbolic, like, you are my student. Oh yeah, because we drew the symbol on Goku's gi again.
Yeah. And well, it's also interesting too because the whole time Vegeta's always been such a bitch about this, like the whole like
Yeah,
wearing other people's symbols, and then Beerus
he
gives him
seemed
the
pretty
earring.
okay with the earring.
Well, I think it's a respect thing because he's doing it his own
Mm.
way. He's not.
Mhm.
It's not just kind of like copying Goku.
Yeah, funny you mentioned that though. He does copy Goku at one point during the
Yeah,
whole big
we'll,
battle.
we'll get to that. We also didn't talk about they do go back to Earth, and we get a little bit of chatting with Vegeta and like the family on Earth before they head
Mhm.
off.
Yeah.
Once again, I'm just like the whole time. Anytime Goku interacts with Chi Chi, I'm like, does he even like her at this point?
No, she's just the beautiful lady who lives in his house and cooks his food and raises his children.
Yeah, the children, I still don't understand how that happened, but that especially with how we've seen him lately.
Mhm.
Because like he always like is just like, oh right, my wife, she's a thing.
See, that's how you know it's more of a platonic relationship than anything. He's just is like, all right, I'll fuck you, but no kissing.
I don't even
That
understand
classic
how he
thing.
knows how that. I don't even understand how he gets that far if he doesn't know what kissing is.
How the hell did she even know? Like, that's what I want to know, because Ox King wasn't giving her fucking wasn't teaching her about that. She didn't give her the talk. Like, what the fuck?
They just stumbled into it. Probably I don't fucking know. It's like
And she's
Goten's
like, hey, this
existence.
this thing seems like it fits.
It's like Goten's
They
existence.
they, they learned it from
I will
science
question.
books.
I will question till the end of time how Goten even happened. Like that one, I still don't get.
Well,
But
Kakarot explained that one.
did it?
Yeah.
I don't. I haven't got that
Because
far.
Gohan had to go help Android 16 with something, or no, yeah, it was Android 16, and then Goku and Pichichi were like, "All right, we're gonna go on a picnic together, alone."
Okay.
And it's
Sure.
heavily implied that that's when they did it.
This series is weird. Anyways.
Yeah.
So going
No
back
kissing,
to
no kissing.
that line in Super is still the thing that just bothers the fuck out of so many people. It's like,
I
why
know,
was that
it's so
such a
funny.
necessary scene?
So funny.
Uh,
But anyways, so they get to the planet and fucking Granola is just, being Granola. He's just super pissed, super angry about everything.
he's got Vegeta parallels a little bit.
Oh, for sure. And I think that's why Vegeta kind of connects with him on a level.
Hmm.
Like they definitely have their moments throughout. Like even when they're like full on, like full beat down, we're gonna kick your ass kind of deal. Even when they're having those moments, they still like Vegeta acknowledges, like he sees himself in Granola and he's like, yeah, we got to stop that. We got to nip that in the bud right now because trust me, bud, doesn't work out.
Yeah, yeah. I really liked the initial fighting between Goku and Goku, Vegeta, and Granola. It felt like a very old school Dragon Ball fight in a lot of ways.
Yeah, it was really interesting too because like you'd think like, oh, I wish to be the strongest. You'd think that would just apply to his physical strength, but no, he actually gets a bunch of techniques added in there too. He gets essentially like another version of like instant transmission. He gets an altered version of destruction. He even gets one of Moro's moves
Hmm.
at one point. So like it's pretty cool how we kind of got like a bunch of different like aspects, bunch of different techniques along with the strength.
I did like
Uh,
too that there's one point in the fight where Vegeta like directly calls him out. He's like, so you got all this power, but you've not trained with it at all. So you're still not figuring it out quite. If you actually trained, your potential would be so much higher."
yeah, I really liked personally the when Goku was having his initial fight with him, and like he's doing decent. It's a close battle, but he's ends up kind of coming out on top by the end. And then Granola's just like, oh, by the way, I also know the multiform technique, and you're only fighting half of my power right now. The other half sitting in a ship
Yeah,
a couple miles away.
I was like, God fucking damn it, really, when that
Yeah.
happened.
And like I love like the pinpoint attacks too. It's just like, oh, if I just happen to hit you in this exact pressure point, you just fucking drop. You're done.
And
Like
then Goku's like, by the third, he's like, that won't happen a third time.
says the guy who's constantly dropping his guard.
Yeah, Goku's a I did like a character that actually like wasn't gonna deal with take Goku shit for once.
Yeah. This is like the one instance where like you probably should have just heard him out.
Yeah, ironically, like it's interesting. This whole this arc was written very smartly, I'd say.
Hmm.
We should talk about Vegeta's new power.
Yes. How do you feel about Ultra Ego?
I love the fact that he called it Ultra Ego because that is the most fucking Vegeta thing ever.
Yes.
Because
And I
he
think
is
it's
such.
pretty much a guarantee that these are their final forms. Like then we might get like, you know, evolved states of these forms, but these I think are these are it. Like Ultra Ego and Ultra Instinct are Goku Vegeta's respective.
I love the fact that he is the biggest bitch about copying Goku on anything, but then immediately he gets this Ultra form and he's like, "You have Ultra Instinct, well I have Ultra Ego," and I'm just like, "You're such a dork, Vegeta."
Oh, is that what you were referring to when we were talking about the
No,
whole like copying Goku thing?
there's another one later, but that one's one of the that's also a very Vegeta moment.
Yeah. Um,
What did you think of the design? Because Mike, why do they do that fucking eyebrow thing?
well, I think they did the eyebrow thing here because they wanted it to be like kind of like a nod to the fact that like we never got Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta at this point.
Yeah,
Obviously, at this point in time, we have seen Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta.
but that's in another universe.
But yeah, it's a different timeline. It's a different time ring. Um, but I think that was kind of the idea behind it is they wanted to kind of give that nod, like, hey, like we're not gonna give him Super Saiyan 3, but we'll give him something that's kind of similar. Um, kind
I
of
do
like
have
how
the
they did the same thing with Broly and Super Saiyan 4. Like they were like, oh, we're gonna give him like the concept of Super Saiyan 4, but he's not actually Super Saiyan 4.
Yeah, but then it gets so confusing because like I'm still curious, like where does Super Saiyan 4 even rank at this point? Because now that we kind of have a canon version of Super Saiyan 4. I just don't understand how powerful it's supposed to be.
That's not something we talk about.
We'll never know. We'll never know the answer because
That's not a discussion you want to start, Bill. You don't want people hitting you up in your DMs.
I don't know, man. Fucking GT, nothing made sense. And then we've got Daima was fun. And then Super pulls shit out of its ass every few episodes. So
Yeah, for sure.
and I love it. But my God, like the amount of fucking powers they have now.
But I love the purple hair.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was purple until I looked at the back of that manga and I was like, oh, it's like Beerus. That's cute.
Yeah, because that makes sense because we got Ultra Instinct, which reflects the white hair of the angels. Then you got Ultra Ego, which reflects like the purple destruction energy. It's kind of like that weird like yin yang kind of between them. And I have a feeling just based on like the way like a lot of the energy looked in the manga, I feel like when it is finally animated, it's gonna look fucking awesome. I feel like his aura is gonna be like sick.
I do say too, Ultra Ego as a concept is very fun because it is such a Vegeta power. Like that's
Imagine if
kind of
Krillin
been
had this power.
yeah, I know, right? I don't want to picture Krillin with no eyebrows, even though he already barely has them as it is.
No eyebrows and no nose.
Yeah,
It's just a giant fucking head.
he turns into One Punch Man.
Yeah, that's his final form.
Oh, he's just adult Caillou. I knew it. Anyways,
Yeah,
yeah, but like Vegeta's Ultra Ego is fun because it's literally just like the entire gimmick is Vegeta. The more Vegeta gets the shit kicked out of him, the more stronger he gets.
and I wonder how much of that like carries over. Like, is it just like a multiplier in its base, but then like the more he gets hit, the more the more strength he gets. But does that carry over like permanently, or is it just like, well, once I run out of steam, that's it, and then I'm just back to base form, Ultra Ego?
That's what I wasn't clear. We'll probably find out if when they inevitably bring this form back, but because it seemed like the second he could only take so much abuse before he would finally collapse, and it
Mhm.
seemed like once he was down, he would revert back to normal.
Yeah,
Until
because
he
like the more I get hit, the more damage I take, the stronger I get, which is very Saiyan. Um, you're still taking damage. You're still, getting blood loss, concussions, broken bones, whatever, what have you. So, like, yeah, you're getting stronger, but eventually you're just gonna fucking, your body's just gonna give up.
yeah,
So there is a limit. Like, even though he says like there are no limits to this power, there is a limit. The limit is how much you can take
the
without
limit
just
is
fucking
that
going
he's not
down.
technically. That's the fun thing about Ultra Instinct and Ultra Ego. They have like the power of the gods, but they're not gods.
Mhm.
Um, they're still mortals, so they actually have to keep that in mind.
Yeah, that affects how efficiently they can use those powers, which adds a fun little spin to it, I think. Um,
We got a bit of classic Vegeta back here, like when Goku tries to tag it, and he's like, "Fuck off, Kakarot." I
yeah,
gotta I gotta get punched some more.
yeah,
Um,
and then we have like a moment where like, well, first of all, like Granola is just kind of hits a point where he's like, "All right, fuck Frieza, I'm just gonna kill you guys, and I'll be satisfied with that, even if I end up dying in the process." Um,
yeah,
and like Goku's just like, and Vegeta just kind of accepts it. Like once Vegeta's hit his point where he just can't continue, and he just kind of accepts the fact, like, okay, we'll just both die. And Goku's like, what the fuck? No,
yeah.
stop.
Goku, it's really weird that Goku's the voice of reason in this arc a lot.
Yeah, for real. Um,
Um,
and I think this is about the point where the heaters come down. We didn't mention like earlier in the arc, when Granola's having his like nightmare dream of the past. Did you realize that was Bardock at first?
no, I did
When
not
when that
notice
big
the
ape
scar.
when that big ape face.
I didn't notice the scar until the reveal, and then I had to scroll back and go, "Son of a bitch!" like the whole
Yep.
time.
You saw that cross-shaped scar, and you were like, "Ah, the Batosai. I knew it."
Ah, Kenshin. What happened? Uh,
What happened to you, bud? I'm spinning. But yeah, the heaters show up, and I think Gas like went to go like encounter them. Like he flew off on his own to go and like fight them. But I think before he even got there, Alec had already made the wish to make him the strongest, but with like essentially the same price, but
yeah, but we don't
more
find
so
that out at
because he has
first.
to be stronger.
Yeah, we didn't find that out at first because it was like very ambiguous, the wish.
Yeah, because we didn't actually see him make the wish or like hear what the dragon had to say about it. So like we assume like, oh, so he had like a similar wish to Granola. We don't know how much time he has, but you have to assume since Gas was significantly stronger than Granola before any of these wishes were made, you have to assume like I feel like it was pretty much like, all right, he probably has about the same amount of time, roughly, because we don't know how much of a margin there is for like how much stronger are you, or like you know what I mean? Is it like you're like 10 power level points higher, or are you like a million bajillion points higher? We don't know. But he shows up, and Gas at first was, he's a little fucking guy. He's a little guy. But he shows up, and he's like fucking 7 feet tall. It's like, what the fuck
yeah, and I
happened to
was
you?
like, when that moment happened, I was like, I was a little annoyed because I was like, oh great, the next monster of the week, here we go.
Yeah, pretty much. Especially towards the end too, when he gets that fucking like beefy form.
Like, because like I was just getting in, because by that point, like the Granola fight had been going on for so long, I was like, they're already fucking fucked up. Like, how are they gonna do another fight?
It's okay though, because they have another sensu bean.
Oh yeah, thank God that was the last one because Goku would have fucking healed him.
Yeah.
Oh, so glad
Yeah.
that was not another plot point.
It was actually really funny too. Is Vegeta was the one who lost the sensu bean this time.
Yeah.
Okay, and we had that moment where Goku was like, "Seriously, Vegeta, how could you lose the sensu bean?" It's just like,
oh,
thousands of the audience just being like, "You're not really one to talk there, Goku."
There are so many great Goku Vegeta like they're like brotherly love / hate moments are so good as of late.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I definitely I like the way that their relationship has gone throughout Super.
Well, I like it especially in the last 2 arcs where Vegeta's really been like, because his whole shtick up to this point is that he could never catch Kakarot, and now it's like got to a point where he realized I don't have to follow him. I got to go do my own thing, and it's been so much more interesting when he's like doing his own shit.
Yeah, it's working out for him a lot better. So yeah, Gas shows up and he's like this big tough dude. They're like, oh my god, what happened to you? He's like, well, we made the wish and I'm all strong now. And we actually get to see what Gas's like natural power is, which is actually really cool.
He's a green fucking lantern.
Pretty much, like fucking energy fists and all.
He makes fucking constructs, and I was like, okay, sure, why not?
Yep. He is a lantern. And it was literally as I was reading it too. I was like, wow, it's really fitting that we just watched that movie too.
Well, he's more of a red lantern because he's powered by rage more than anything. But
yeah, but he shows up and immediately just starts fucking all of them up. And at this point, they're all pretty beat up just from fighting each other. And then we learn that Monaito also has healing powers because he's trying to fucking get shit done. Did you forget that Goku had a healing factor?
Sure, sure, I guess.
Because that's one of those things that you forget because he was just regular ass Goku for so long, but when he got the Super Saiyan God power back in the Battle of Gods arc, he got a healing factor, so he could just kind of heal himself.
I always forget about because the God form is such a weird one. Yeah, Super has made everything so confusing.
I think Vegeta technically has it too because I think that was part of like the spirit control training in the last arc. So I don't know, it's just an interesting tidbit.
I did notice. So I liked his name is Mojito. Is it
Monaito?
Mojito
is a drink.
Yeah, I could go for one.
Although that would fall in line with Dragon Ball naming schemes.
Monito, though, it was very interesting because the last new Namekian we had experienced was the one in Daima, who at first I was like, Is this a parallel? Like, no, it's not.
If
He's
anything, Neva is a parallel of Monaito because Monaito came first.
true, but they're very different characters.
Oh, for sure.
Monaito is an interesting one because he's a Namekian that has like self confidence issues.
Yeah, like he's like, yeah, I'm not very talented. It was honestly kind of a stroke of luck that I was able to make Dragon Balls at all, and even the ones I made only have 2 balls.
And his Dragon Balls are fucking broken. They don't have to be reset. You only have to find 2 of them. You can just make wishes. I was like, all right.
I'm like we don't know, like nobody's ever tried to do this with the other Dragon Balls as far as like wishing for strength and shit. So we don't know, like if they tried to do that on Earth, would it just be like, nah, I can't do it, sorry. Like, wonder if like the special, like kind of what makes Taranbo unique is that, like, normally I wouldn't be able to do this, but if we add a condition, then it would work. Like, and I wonder
It's
if that's like
weird.
a special ability of that, or if all dragons can do that.
It's weird too because then we also have like Shenron who can just straight up make people immortal. Oh,
Yeah.
which is I'm actually surprised. That one is so weird because they've done it in the past, but it's like, why don't other villains ever do this?
Well, immortality is kind of like,
Lame.
it's lame, but it's also been kind of made moot at this point because it's been established that you could, even if you wish for immortality with the strongest Dragon Balls in existence, you could still be blipped.
True.
So
Yeah,
it's
because
kind of a moot point if you piss off the wrong person.
it's almost like that's why they put in like the gods or like the Zennies, basically, because they needed a way to get around that.
Yeah, because it's assumed that if you're hit with destruction, then that like erases you from existence. So like being immortal doesn't really matter in that case. And then obviously Zeno just fucking blipped the entire goddamn timeline. So yeah,
Yep.
that didn't matter. Like fucking Zamasu was just gone at that point.
Yeah.
So like the whole concept of wishing to be immortal at this point just isn't even a thing.
No. Well, the few times they've ever done it, it's always lame, and I'm always like, yeah, I guess that's why they don't bother with it. But
Well, you write yourself into a corner by doing that. Because it's like, okay, well, he's immortal, so how the fuck do we do this?
so we should probably talk about the big reveal.
With
The
Bardock?
Bardock reveal.
Yeah.
Because this was so it's interesting. I was getting a little fatigued with this arc at first. Like after the granola fight, I was like, oh, that was fun. And I was like, the gas fight was I was getting bored. I was like, all right, they're just punching each other now. And then Minito goes like, you look just like the Saiyan. And I was like, oh, we're going here. Now I'm very interested all of a sudden.
Yep.
Because that was kind of like an illusion. Like they kind of alluded to it a few times that like they recognized Goku, but they didn't really go farther into it. But then once Minito drops that whole reveal about, oh yeah, it was a Saiyan that saved you. He looked just like that guy. Yep. I was like, oh.
He's like, oh, okay. Is a Saiyan named Bardock? Is there anyone in your kin of that name? And he's like, I don't fucking know. But you just like, that was your dad, dude.
Like, yeah, because I keep forgetting that the all the Bardock stuff that in the past was like stuff that wasn't canon or just wasn't important.
Well, it's complicated. Because when Toriyama saw the original special, he wanted to make a canon, and that's why he wrote Bardock into the manga very lightly. Like it was just kind of oh, Frieza recognized that Goku looks like Bardock, but that was like the only bit that Bardock got in the original manga. And then Toriyama, leading up to Battle of Gods, wrote his own version of the Bardock story as Dragon Ball Minus.
Yeah. Minus, yeah, which is then what was then canonized in the Broly movie.
Yeah. So it's kind of a weird situation where like he kind of like retroactively made the original special canon, but then rewrote it later, like way later. So like Bardock is a weird monster in that way.
Yeah, because I had when the whole like they revealed that Goku didn't really know him, I was a little confused at first. I was like, I thought that was revealed to him in the past. But I guess not.
No, the most Goku heard about him was just Frieza being like, "You look like that Saiyan who tried to start an uprising against me."
Your father was a brilliant scientist.
Yeah.
Fucking
um,
line.
so yeah, we get this big flashback of Bardock. Essentially, well, first of all, like I love the whole a Saiyan actually saved you and all this other stuff. I'm like, yeah, but he still was pretty heavily involved in slaughtering his entire species. Like he
Yeah, but he saved
personally
this
killed
one
many
person.
of them, but he saved you, so that absolves him of his crimes.
Yeah.
And I mean, technically, yeah, like let's be real. Saiyans are bloodthirsty savages who enjoy what they do. But at the end of the day, they were still slaves, and they would have been killed if they didn't do it.
Yeah.
And they were
And
ended up
then
killed. They ended up getting killed anyway. So,
yeah. And then there's also the whole thing with Bardock was always like the weird Saiyan
but I
before
did
his
like.
son.
Well, first of all, we saw like the if you remember back to the Broly movie when we got that flashback of Bardock on the way back to Planet Vegeta. The Saiyan that was piloting it was the guy with the really close cut hair, and he had the scar across his forehead. We saw that Saiyan get that scar in this flashback.
Yeah.
And also, I don't know 100% if it was, but there was a Saiyan there who looked a hell of a lot like Nappa,
I
but with
think that
hair.
was supposed to be Nappa. Like that looked just like Nappa.
But they didn't name him, so like it's still kind of up in the air if it was or not. But I'm pretty sure it was.
I think it was because it looked just like him in that one split second scene he has in the Brawley movie.
Yeah. Um. But yeah, like we get that whole scene, and I do like how because in that scene we got in Broly, Bardock was just like, "Oh, something doesn't feel right. I think Frieza's gonna betray us, and that's why he ends up sending Goku out." And like that actually makes a lot more sense when you add this flashback into the equation because the heaters are kind of like vaguely insinuating that a meteor might fall on their planet pretty soon. Like,
Yeah.
so he kind of catches the hint and is just like, oh, Frieza's gonna betray us soon. Like that's gonna happen. So as soon as he got the word that all Frieza wants all the Saiyans on the planet because reasons, he's like,
Yeah.
all right, something's not right.
Yeah, because we also got that the scene that I found the most interesting was when Bardock goes back to his after they blow up the moon, Bardock goes back to his normal form. He finds Granola and his mom, and it's kind of like you get that like Bardock has like is like emotion. He's like not like the rest of the Saiyans.
He gets a
Um,
scar moment from Full Metal
yeah,
when he like sees when he sees Edward protecting Winry, and he's like, "Oh, this is just like when my brother protected me." Yeah, similar thing.
yeah, because he sees the mom protecting the kid, and he immediately thinks of Gide and all and his kids.
Yeah,
Um,
which we see little baby Raditz playing with other kids, Saiyans
yeah,
in that
I
one
noticed
flashback.
that. Also, I see the lack of understanding of how babies are made runs in the family. Bardock's like, oh, the baby's here. Oh, I was wondering why your stomach wasn't big anymore. Just
Yeah,
like way to go, Bardock.
he's like yet another deadbeat Saiyan.
Well,
I
he
think
comes
Gide
home.
actually calls him out on it too,
Yeah, well, he comes home more often than Goku, and he does actually like love his wife.
that we know of.
They have more affection than Goku and Chi Chi ever do. So
Well, I'm pretty sure they actually kiss. So
yeah, and talk
back to that.
and do anything that's more than Goku and Chi Chi.
Yeah. Um. So yeah, we get the whole scene of him like saving them, covering for them when the other Saiyans are coming around the corner and shit. And he's like, "All right, we're gonna go off into the mountains, and we'll just kind of hide you away for when they show up, and you can just live here forever."
I did like to when Minito's like he's like why and Bardock's like I felt like it.
Yeah, he's just like, it was a whim.
Yeah, he's
And
just
then
very
like,
much like
and then at one point they like hear the Heaters talking about how they're like they have all these plans that they're gonna overthrow Frieza and get real strong and rule the universe. And then little shit Granola wakes up and is like, Saiyan! They're like, who said that? They come down and immediately murk his mom.
yeah. I was like because I was wondering like she's not alive currently. How does she die? And I was like oh
Yeah,
great.
pretty much. And we get
Barely
like
knew
this.
you.
Yeah, right. We get this fight between Gas and Bardock, and it
Oh yeah,
pretty much
because
just
they
shows how Dragon Ball fights go.
Well, because the whole time there was the whole mystery. They were like, "What happened in that fight? Maybe we can figure out how to beat gas." And he's like, "Oh yeah, I got this thing. I don't know what it does, but it might be able to help." And they're like, "A scouter."
Yep.
Um,
Now Goku has a piece of his father now. And as soon as the recording starts and he hears his voice, all of a sudden Goku remembers his parents.
yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about that.
A
We'll
lot of
have to
people
wait.
have similar feelings.
Yeah, I'm like, we're getting a little fanficky here now.
And Goku's like, yes, the pride of the Saiyans. I get it. I finally get it.
Yeah, we're getting a little fanficky here.
Yeah. And Vegeta's like, oh yeah, I shouldn't be feeling guilt. I should be feeling pride.
This arc, you can tell Togetaro's learning here a little bit
Yeah,
how
for
to
sure.
structure these things. Because this point, I was kind of like, okay, I'm liking this, but getting a little questionable here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, also, Bardock got his tail flat out ripped off.
Yeah, which isn't fucking brought up because he had his tail. Like it's kind of assumed that this is like literally the mission before Planet Vegeta is destroyed. But when we see him in Minus and in the Broly like flashback stuff, he has his tail.
Well, it's not addressed, but it's shown here too because when we see like Bardock go back to Planet Vegeta, he goes off on another mission because there's that scene where Guinea is waving him off with Raditz next to her, and he
That's
doesn't
true.
have the tail. But then we see him again right when they're sending Goku off, and he has the tail again. So it must have grown back, I guess.
Okay. Well, yeah, the tails are supposed to grow back. I think Goku's specifically doesn't grow back because Kami removed it in like a very specific way.
Yeah, and then Vegeta's, I don't know.
Vegeta's was just cut off. I don't know why his didn't grow back.
He didn't need it, so he's just like, fuck it. I
It
guess I
should
don't know.
have. It should have grown back. I don't know why it didn't.
Maybe they've just evolved beyond the point of needing it, and I don't know.
I think Toriyama just didn't want to draw the tails anymore.
That's why he got rid of him to begin with. But like,
And that's what it came down to. It's just like he's like, I got rid of the tails because I didn't want to draw them anymore. And then I go ahead and introduce this whole race of people that have the tails. Like, what am I doing to myself? You just don't have this anymore.
Toriyama also probably thought that and then forgot about it. So you
Yeah.
know,
But yeah, so they get like the full story of how Bardock being it's set up like it's gonna be like this big like secret like Cass's weakness or something. But no, it's literally just like bah me saying me mad.
yeah, I punch
It's just like
hard.
it's like, oh, we just have to be savage Saiyans. That's the secret. It's just we
Yeah.
just have to be Saiyans. Like we always do.
Also, when this is going back a little earlier, but when Vegeta gives Granola the fucking sensu beam, and then Granola immediately gets fucking like annihilated, I was like, well, that was worth it.
I mean, he did okay. He did okay.
He lasted a little bit, but it still was basically kind of like it was like, oh, cool.
Yeah. So out of curiosity, like, well, first of all, when you read manga, do you like read it in like different actors' voices? Obviously, with Dragon Ball, we have that association with like the classic Funimation dub, but like in general, like, do you do that?
Um, when I have a voice that I know, yeah. When I don't, it's harder for me.
Did you associate an actor with Granola?
Nah, I can't think of them off the top of my head.
I don't know why. Well, I mean, I do know why because they have very similar kind of styles to them. But I was imagining the actor who plays Hay actually from Darker Than Black.
Oh,
He played blanking on his name, sword guy from Wrath of the Dragon.
yes, I know the name. I can't remember right
It's
now.
Jason something, I think. But I was imagining that voice for Granola the whole time.
1 second here. God damn it, Wikipedia, you're not helping me. Jason Librich or Liebrich.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, that was the voice I was imagining for Granola the whole time. I feel like
Huh.
he would be the right guy.
No, I
Um,
do that sometimes. Like if I'm reading like a Batman comic, I'm always gonna like read Batman's lines in like Kevin Conroy's voice.
although if we didn't just get him in Daima, Aaron Dismuke wouldn't be bad either.
True. I can see this being an Aaron Dismuke kind of voice.
Um, but no, I definitely had like the more raspy kind of voice in mind for him. I don't know why. I just did. Maybe it's because he's a sniper. I just imagine snipers smoking cigarettes and having raspy voices.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, anyways, so at this point we're kind of at like a full gang up on gas situation because he tries to just use his base power, his regular like Green Lantern power the whole time because he's just like, I want to beat you with my power. But he's like, all right, this isn't working for me. So I guess I'll use all the other powers. And he pretty much gets all the same powers that Granola got.
Hmm.
But like some of them are kind of like upgraded. Like he's still got like the kind of teleporting power that Granola got, but he can teleport other people from a distance. Like he doesn't have to touch people like Goku does,
Yeah.
which is kind of cool. Like that's not a
And
power I expected at all.
we did get that wonderful scene where Goku's like quick thinking. He's like, yeah, what do I do? Teleport here. Whis, watch him for 3 seconds, please. And then he flies off.
Yeah, he teleports him so far away that Gas can't teleport back. So he has to fly through space to get there. That gives him a little
Yeah.
like breathing time.
I do love the fact that I do love the fact too that the angels are like these omnipresent beings that like even like the most evil of people don't want to fuck with.
Yeah, they just know better.
Because Gas is like, which way did he go?
Yeah.
And he's just like, he went that way. Shit. I guess I have to fly. And it just goes
Yeah.
up. And Whis is like, oh, I would have liked to talk a little more.
Yeah, because it was like a whole thing where Goku was just like, "Oh, you think your teleporting is so much better than mine? I've been doing this for decades. Watch how good I am." He's just like, "But you can't follow me."
Uh,
Um. Oh, so I don't remember if it happened when he was fighting Gas or Granola, but the big thing that I was talking about earlier with Vegeta copying Goku, he bit one of them.
yeah, I saw that. I was like, God fucking damn it. Damn it,
Yep.
man.
And Goku's done that against like every major villain in Z, like going all the way through. Like
And
he's bit,
super.
yeah, and Super. He bites his villains a lot.
He
And
bit
when
Beerus.
I actually saw Vegeta do it, like in Ultra Ego form too, so you get the big fucking dopey eyebrows and everything. It's just fucking,
I love
it was
even
pretty
Goku
funny.
makes fun of the eyebrows at one point.
Yeah, right. Um,
Um, oh, what was the thing I was gonna say? Oh yeah, there's a great Goku Vegeta scene earlier on too, where after the whole story, they learn the Bardock story before Gas comes back. Um, there's a point where like Vegeta's like, God damn it, your sappy family always getting all the best things. Like, why do you guys have to be the biggest bunch of softies? And then Goku's like, you're just exactly the same with Bra, and he's like, that doesn't count.
that's totally different. Not the same. Oh yeah,
Completely
because
different.
they get the big reveal that like Goku and Raditz survived the destruction of the planet
Oh yeah,
because
because
of the
he
wish
made
that
the
was
because
made.
because Benito was trying to wish Bardock away, and Bardock's like, fuck that. Um, and then he's like, all right, what do you want? He's like, I want my sons to survive.
Yeah, I want my sons to grow and well, the word they use is thrive, which I'm pretty sure if I'm
Did
remembering
the
right from
did the
when this
universe
chapter
just hate?
came out. Well, if I'm remembering from when this chapter originally came out correctly, that was like a mistranslation kind of thing.
Okay,
It was more about like I want them to grow healthy into adulthood, essentially.
okay, because I was gonna
Was
say
like,
thrive. I was like, did the universe just hate Raditz or something?
yeah, well, yeah. He got as strong as a Cyberman. Those Demon Realm guys are pretty strong.
That's like everybody's favorite like fanfic plot line is bring Raditz back.
Yeah.
Some do it
Thanks,
better than
Thanks,
others.
Masako X.
Oh yeah, he did the fucking like the big one. Forgot about
That
that.
was like the big push for Raditz. It was because of him.
Yeah, I forgot he was the one that made that mega one of that. Yeah, that went for way farther than I thought it was gonna go. But
And I think Budokai Tenkaichi 3 did a like what if with Raditz, like also hitting his head, losing his memory, and then kind of befriending everybody. But then he died at the end of the Saiyan saga.
Yeah. And then he's just alive in Kakarot. Just if you bring him back, just chilling.
Everybody is. Everybody is.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Uh,
He's like, I already beat you once. It's okay. You can be alive again. But yeah, anyways, so we get like the big like beat down with Gas. And eventually Gas starts losing his shit because Goku's fighting him in Ultra Instinct Omen, like the black haired form. Oh no, it's not Omen, it's Sign. I forgot.
Sign.
Omen was the fan name, which is a way better name, but whatever.
Yes.
But yeah, he's fighting him in that form, and since he has the black hair, he's like, "Oh no, it's Bardock and this and that." And he got real mad and just started like losing control and powering up way too much, which is causing him to age a lot faster.
Yeah, he gets fucking fucked. That was
like zombified essentially at one point. Like it looked like a mummy with like pieces of his face missing and shit. And at one point, like he had this huge chunk out of his bicep missing. And literally, I'm reading that, and I turned to my buddy at work, and I'm like, "How is he punching with his hand? This doesn't make any sense. The biology just isn't there." And literally, in the next panel, Goku's like, "How are you punching with that arm?" It's like, "Oh, okay." All right, at least they acknowledge it. At least they acknowledge it.
Also, Vegeta did the arm thing.
Oh, he did. Yeah.
Yeah, the fucking. Why is it always that arm?
Like, what's going the on? Arm that everyone fucking hits. You know, it's like you get that one big break in a limb, and you're like, all right, well now that limb is fucked forever.
Just anytime Vegeta's hurt, he's always grabbing that arm. I'm like,
ow, right. My left arm.
I think Goku was doing it at one point too in the Spark.
But eventually it hits a point where like Goku is holding him off and Granola is charging up like one last big sniper attack, which does end up kind of taking him down, but then he gets back up and he's like, haha, I'm still gonna kill you. And then like
I killed your Namekian friend.
And then fucking like Maki is like talking to Alec. He's like, we got to do something. We should go back and regroup and try again later. And Alec's like, there is no later. He's dying. Look at him. And Gas is just like, wait, what? I'm dying? And then he like looks at his reflection. He's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, and it's like, honestly, like that moment, like, yeah, Gas doesn't really have any like real redeeming qualities. Like he's kind of like a non-character, really.
No, he's just there. He's there for something for Goku and Vegeta to punch, basically.
He's there to have a Napoleon complex. Let's be real.
Well, the problem is they wrote this arc with Granola as the villain, and they realized Granola's too good of a character to end off like that. So they were like, "Fuck, we need an actual villain to kill."
Yeah. But then like when you think about it, like it's a really tragic thing because he's like, I live for my brother. I'd do anything for my brother. You know, like his goals are my goals. I'll do whatever I have to do to get him where he needs to be because he did all this stuff for me. And then he's just so quick to be like, yeah, I'll make the wish to make you real strong. And you're just going to like die immediately. And it's like the recognition on his face for like what's happening to him is like fucking heartbreaking. He's like, oh, fuck. Like I'm like literally about to die from this. And my brother did this to me.
Yep. And then Frieza shows up.
Yeah, then Frieza shows up because Alec has been like kind of insinuating the whole time, like, oh, there's one more thing I have to do after he made the wish, and like we don't hear what that is, and then we learn like, oh, he summoned Frieza there. He called him up, was like, hey, I need you over here for a reason. And then like the second Frieza shows up, Gas is like, I'm gonna kill you, and then he immediately gets impaled to the chest and dies.
Yeah, and head crushed. I was like, yeah, that was gruesome for Dragon Ball standards. I was like, damn.
Yeah, and Frieza's like, all right, what is it you wanted from me, Alec? He's just like, oh, let me answer for you. You called me here so that Gas could kill me. Well, he's literally dust in the wind now, so what do you want? And then he gets real mad, tries to shoot him with his Halo pistol, and gets obliterated instantly.
Yeah.
And then Goku and Vegeta are like, we're gonna get you, Frieza.
And then Frieza's like, surprise, I have a new form.
Yep, we have Black Frieza because, hey, while he was out conquering planets, he happened to find a hyperbolic time chamber. And it works the same as it does on Earth. That motherfucker got 10 years worth of training.
Yeah.
Remember how in Resurrection F he trained for 4 months and got golden form and got on the level of Super Saiyan Blue? Yeah,
Uh-huh.
10 years. Let's multiply that training he did in that movie by what, 30?
Yeah.
Yeah, not so good. And keep in mind, at this point, Goku and Vegeta are fully healed and fully energized because Monaito healed them.
Yes.
And they were taken down in a single hit
Yes.
in their new forms.
Yeah, I'm not sure where this is gonna go, in all honesty.
Yeah, this is the cliffhanger I've been sitting on since before Superhero came out.
Yeah, because that doesn't get addressed at all.
Nope. The only like semi thing that addresses it is the fact that they brought Broly to Beerus's place and were like, "We're training you up, bro, because we're gonna fucking need you."
Which the only plot hole here is the fact that like if Beerus really wanted to, he could just blink him out of existence.
That depends. We don't know how fucking strong Frieza is at this point. Because Frieza has deflected destruction energy before.
True.
And when you think about him jumping from Frieza Saga, like Namek Saga level to Super Saiyan Blue level in 4 months, how much is 10 years of training going to get him?
Yeah.
So we have no idea. He could be leaps and bounds stronger than Beerus at this point. He's not stronger than Whis. Like that's guaranteed. He's definitely not stronger than Whis.
And
But it's entirely
Zeno,
possible he's stronger than Beerus.
and Zeno could just erase him if he felt like it. So
Yeah, but he's not going to be doing any of the crazy shit that Zamasu was doing. So
true.
I don't think he has to worry about that. So this is what I've been sitting on this whole time. Is this Frieza Black arc?
This is another reason too why I just don't understand how they're going to tie the end of Z to this because it just doesn't make sense anymore.
Well, we'll see how things go.
I think
we still have a ways to go before we determine anything. So
they're going to have to rewrite the shit out of that because at this point, I'm like,
or at least add like more context in the background of what's going on in that. Like,
there's going to have to be some bullshit reason why the gods and like they can't use half their powers anymore.
Well, I mean, the end of Z, like, it didn't really reveal like how strong anybody was. So
I know it's just I don't know. Even like Pan's personality in like Superhero doesn't really mesh with her at the end of Z anymore.
Yeah. Well, I mean that's a minor detail.
There's just so many things where I'm like they're gonna have to fix that because it just doesn't work anymore.
We'll see how Toyotaro decides to handle it once we actually get there.
Oh yeah, because Toriyama's not gonna be around to. Oh,
yeah.
I didn't think of that.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess we'll see where that goes when it comes. But like, think about this. Like, let's say Frieza Black Arc doesn't happen right away. Let's say we have another tournament arc, like a tournament of power again, because they did say they were going to do another one.
Oh yeah.
Think about how fucking stacked Universe 7's team could be this time around. We got Ultra Instinct Goku, Ultra Ego Vegeta, Gohan Beast, Orange Piccolo, Granola, Miras, who is now mortal, so he could join.
Sure, Brawly would be there.
Broly, if they decide to tweak with the rules a little bit, they could pull Trunks with his new form.
Oh, Future Trunks.
Yeah. And at this point, Goten and Trunks are older, so they could be the last two spots.
God damn.
That's a stacked fucking team, dude.
Not even fucking fair.
Well, I am pretty sure that if we do get another tournament arc, they're gonna add the 4 exempt universes that were just too good to even be qualified for the tournament. They're probably gonna be in it, so that's gonna add a whole new level.
And then Android 17 will win again, and then
if he's even in the Androids might even be in the team
without even being there, he'll win again, and then just be like, "I wish everyone was back."
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. If they do decide to do another tournament arc, like that's gonna be fucking crazy.
Yeah. It's gonna be a while because I realized the next episode we do of Super is gonna be the last one for a while.
Yeah, probably the last one for years. Because even when the manga does come back, keep in mind like Moro, Granola, like each of those arcs took 2 years to complete.
Yeah,
So even when it does come back, it's going to be a while before we get another complete arc.
yeah, wow.
So I mean, we could like I don't know if it's something you're gonna be keeping up with or attempting to, but like I mean, we could talk about like new chapters as they come out, but because it'll be
Yeah,
once a month.
we'll have to
But
think on that. That's way down the line though at this rate. So
once we complete what the super manga has done, I mean, I think we already kind of agreed that we're gonna circle back around and start at the beginning of Dragon Ball.
yeah, eventually. Um, yeah, we'll figure that out. But yeah, Granola. I hope they do more with him. Even though he's got
Me
like a
too.
year, he's only got so much time left now. Unless they
They
wish
could
away,
they could
wish that
figure
away.
something out. Yeah, I was gonna say they could just cancel out the wish and just make him have a normal, and just make him train. You know, they could just do something
Or they
like that,
use
or they
another
could
Dragon Ball.
undo the wish. They could undo the wish and then have Elder Kai unlock his ability,
True.
because then he could get a bunch of power and not shorten his lifespan.
Yeah.
But even just the concept of having a sniper is pretty cool.
Well, hopefully he reappears because it won't be Toriyama writing, so we don't have to worry about him forgetting about shit.
Yeah, but if he doesn't reappear, it's okay because he's just dead.
Yeah. Tragically. Tragically. Oh, but
I'm
yeah,
sure. I'm sure he'll be involved in the Black Frieza arc. He's still got a grudge.
yeah, he sure does.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, so that was Dragon Ball Super. Um, we do have plans for our next episode. We're probably going to talk more about that off camera, though.
Hmm.
Um, so I guess now, perfect timing. Once again, guys, thank you for joining us on Geek Addicts. You can find Geek Addicts on all the major podcasting platforms, particularly Apple, Spotify, all the stuff. And be sure to check us out over on Superpod Network, superpodnetwork.com. Awesome site with a whole bunch of different videos, podcasts, blogs. We're starting up November. Don't really know what the next few ideas are going to be, but yeah, fun stuff. Check out Superpod Network. And with that, everybody, once again, thank you for joining us, and we will see you all later.
Have a good one.